Good morning, everyone. We're from the Globalization and Multicultural Literacy Group, and today we are proud to give you a tour of our 21st century school. Let's start with the overview. This newly developed school is designed solely for the benefit of students with additional needs to cater inclusivity. We would want students with additional needs feel that they belong in this school by adding features that promotes inclusivity. We also adapted a modern design and came up with features that would enhance the skills of a 21st century learner. We envision this school to be a space wherein the needs of every student are met. As special education and children with special needs are very dear to our hearts, we tried our best to incorporate their needs in the school, which aren't usually met with the schools we have today. For the classroom, we envisioned this classroom to be a space wherein all the students' needs are in one place. The different features available in the classroom would cater to the different interests of students, promoting not only learning but also play. It is a nurturing space that will help them become their best selves. So it is a sad reality that some students out there needs to share materials, be in an overcrowded room, and basically classrooms that are not ideal place for learning. Uh, with the classroom we have in mind, it promotes learning aside from the quality teaching, but also due to comfortability and resources which are readily available. For the significance of this project to the students, so this project is intended for all students, most especially students with disabilities. The project allows them to have accessibility and solace, which fosters a learning environment that meets their needs. Learning is always best when it thinks about the student's well-being. With this dream school and classroom, we really thought of inclusivity and creating a space that is ideal to the different types of learners and also in developing their skills to become a 21st century learner. For the teachers, this project aims to give teachers a wider access to resources and a teaching environment that is in sync with the students' learning styles. So it is a hindrance to teachers to be able to teach with their 100% if their students do not have enough materials or are left with no choice but to use old resources. This 21st century school gives the teachers full support to ensure quality teaching, and also the school would help the teachers with their professional development. So, educational theories. For the first theory, we have learner-centered theory, and this is by John Dewey. So he came up with this theory wherein he believes that every learner is unique and that teacher instruction should be based on the student's interest. Children becomes more motivated to learn compared to teacher-directed activities, and students learn by doing, which helps them in understanding more the topic and retaining the information. So an example of this would be like the topic gravity. So gravity can be a hard topic for younger students since it deals with an abstract concept, right? So by letting them experience firsthand, like for example, letting them sit on top of a chair and letting them drop the balloon that they're holding, they will be able to grasp the concept of gravity much easier. Second would be connectivism learning theory. This theory states that students learn and grow when they form connections, may it be from other people or from their hobbies. The teacher can promote connectivism by grouping the students together or letting the students participate in their hobbies like arts, reading, or gardening. This is also the reason why we incorporate different amenities in the 21st century school. Last would be the modern educational technology theory. This theory states that teachers must free themselves from the shackles of traditional education, which means that they must cope with the technology and learn how to incorporate it in class since we as students are digital natives. It also sets a higher requirement for the teachers because knowing how to use the modern technology we have today is more of a requirement now. And yeah, today's advancement allows the students to learn not just inside their classrooms. With the internet, they can search all information that they need. Now let's talk about the top 5 gadget or furniture. So first would be a smart board. So who has seen and tried a smart board? Let us know in the chat box. So smart board is like an interactive whiteboard. Kani siya, connected ni siya to the computer or the laptop of the teacher and also to the projector. It flashes what's on the laptop and you can move objects or write something down. So touchscreen ni siya. I was able to try this when I was in grade 7 in USC South. So during that time, bago pa kay ito among smartboard and it was thanks to our math teacher kay he has access to that room. So mo to everyone was really participative to answer bisag di jud sure sa answer kay they wanted to try the smart board and gibutangan pa to og note sa kilid nga this is a smart board dili ni whiteboard ha kay tig mabutangan og kanang pentel pen. Second would be tables. So we opted to have this instead of the usual armchairs to accommodate those with orthopedic impairments. Also, with this kind of setup, the classmates can help the other students who needs assistance. Third would be this chair with storage. We wanted it to have a storage so that the room is clutter-free and it also teaches the students to be organized and be responsible with their things. We decided to remove the armrest so that students can also move freely and give way for those with orthopedic impairments. Sound system with wireless mic. So our school adheres to the ideal number of students in the classroom, which is 18. However, sound system with mic is still a great help to the teacher to avoid them from straining their voice and a good practice for the students to overcome their fear with a mic and public speaking. Last would be the whiteboard. It may seem redundant with a smart board, but it doesn't mean that if we have new ones, the traditional ones don't work already. So this is also ideal since it will be a chalk-free environment. So for the layout of our classroom, this is the design we have in mind. It's very modern and just imagine it with the tables and the chairs we showed you earlier. And we will also be talking about the room features that we want to have in our rooms.
So let's proceed with our room features. And before that, who among you here has an idea or can guess of what possibly our room feature is? So you can type your answer in the chat box and we would highly appreciate your participation upon answering this question. So let's go back. So our ideal room features are composed of four features and it begins with wide sliding doors. So with this, it is very spacious and huge enough to let those students who use wheelchairs have better access to pathways. That we are aiming not just to help students but to provide a friendly, comfortable, and hassle-free environment by the moment they would enter the classroom. So the second one is wide aisle. So we tend to call it a passageway. It is more likely a wholesome way to make the students move freely as well as for the benefit of the majority and for them to actively participate class activities and promote an engaging environment. So the third one is wall containing artworks reminders. So we included this to appreciate their artworks by posting it on the walls. And reminders are also being posted on the walls. So lastly, must have paraprofessional. So we involve their existence for it is vital also where by their existence it could create and build greater positivity to all. That they are a great help especially when a teacher cannot accommodate their special needs. So another is elementary rooms. So here is the mini library. So we included this for it will serve as a cornerstones for resources. That this place, as you can see, is cozy and the colors of the furniture are bright. Then there are also bigger aisle for students who are using wheelchairs and crutches. Another is the play area. So since our focus is to cater the needs of various learners, we insert having playing area. Also, the high school students are excluded in this area because this is solely made for the benefit of the elementary students. So another is the sleeping room. So we also add this area where student can rest or have a room to sleep. But this room isn't luxurious as you witness it, for it is just a typical one. And also, there is also an allotted time for sleeping. So lastly, the comfort zone. One of the most important features in the comfort and in a in an elementary room, that each elementary classroom must have a restroom so that they don't have to go outside, for it is risky. And if we let our students go outside without the guidance of their teachers. So, for everyone's information, for the high school room, it is just similar with this elementary room, but the only difference is that there is no more play area and sleeping area. So let's move on with our school features. So the first one is adopted transport. So let us assume that their parents cannot pick them up at school. So our school bus has wheelchair pull-ups for the benefit of students who are using wheelchairs. That this is not only beneficial to students who are using wheelchairs but also to regular students. So another is convertible stair ramp. So our focus is inclusive setting, which we added up a little to minimize converter stairs, just for learners to allow access for wheeled items such as wheelchairs and others. So another is the stairs and ramps. So instead of using stairs, we have come up with an idea for this stairs and ramp that truly helps anyone with any type of mobility. That this is also really a creative design that we found which can accommodate both regular students and those students with additional needs. Same with as I present a while ago. And another is the elevator. So I assume everyone knows this, and sometimes we call it lift. This is helpful for not to ascend from stairs. Another is the canteen. So this is somehow a common school feature and applicable in our dream school for some relevant reason that this will provide students with adequate nutrition and so forth. So junk foods, beers, soda, soft drinks, and other unhealthy foods are not allowed in our canteen. As you can see, there are also wider aisles. Next is the auditorium. So it is used for upcoming activities and more to be made. And the sports fields and bleachers. So our dream schools involves this field, which contains a huge ground, a football court, and so on. So here is the inclusive playground. So our playground is divided into two categories. So this picture can be considered for all learners and most especially students with auditory disabilities that including lots of visual, tactile, and sensory elements in your playground is somehow beneficial to child with an auditory disability. So the second picture is this is also applicable and considered to be used by all learners, but this is also useful or kanang applicable for visual disabilities. So in this, by adding, as you can see, by adding the rubberized surfacing to a playground can help a child with a visual impairment differentiate where a playground begins and ends. So the second last is the greenhouse. So introducing the greenhouse to the students will cultivate a sense of ecoliteracy. It is a good experience for the students to know the basic of gardening, and of course have fun. Lastly, the school clinic. So school clinic is also non-negotiable feature. As we are inclusive school, the clinic must be aware of the medical history of every student and provide necessary medications. So let's move on and proceed with these special rules. So first is the resource room. So this picture shows a one-on-one cubicle. It is a space wherein the students can focus and learn. It also shows that this play area since they play and enjoy here during the circle time. Another is oh, this is in connection to the first one, the art room. So this is a space that promotes their creativity. The students have access to different materials they need and also teaching them the discipline to clean and pack away things after using. Lastly, the computer laboratory. So these laboratory students today are become digital natives and giving them a space to enhance which it is important that this would also provide them any information they need. In conclusion, the dream school we conceptualize is a school wherein every student is embraced, responsive, and sensitive to their needs, and importantly, molded them to become globally competent, equipped with a compassionate heart to help their brothers and sisters. So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you, and good morning once again.